Angeles, better known as X. Also, Russians of Doom, I guess you could say, to some lesser extent. I'm from Monterey, California, and I like to pretend I do art. I work at Wave Street Art Collective. It's a tattoo shop on top of a paint studio located in Monterey. It's actually really nice. I've been able to work there with my best friends, just people who help each other mold and grow, and over 10 years kind of having this friendship has developed into a business, and it's pushed me harder to kind of open new ventures artistically. As a kid, I really was inspired by the uniqueness of the movie industry. I loved compositions of music, I loved the artwork, I loved the actors, the directors, and as a kid I thought I want to do all that, but everyone kind of tells me I can only do one thing. And seeing as I never really listened to anything else in life like common sense, I kind of followed in suit with my career. I started off by being a musician, and growing up on punk and ska and R&B jazz, I started playing in bands. I started going all over the West Coast, just as a teenager, and trying to be hip and cool, and this little fat kid that wanted to just, play drums and have a good time. At 16, I dropped out of high school. I wasn't necessarily dumb. I was doing good in school. I had an opportunity to go around the world. And my parents weren't around, and they basically told me, if you're going to do this, do you really want to? And I said, yes. And they go, okay, well, if you mess up, don't come back. And I was practically homeless for about 5 years. Where I went after music, I was getting tattooed since I was 14. I remember meeting this guy named Raul Suarez and R.C. Kelly. And I started at Indian Ink as a tattoo apprentice for about almost three-fourths of a year to a year, and then I gave up on it. I got into it for the wrong reasons, and I failed miserably. It's not a success story. Eventually, I just kind of moved forward. I ended up working at a shop called Faithful and True Tattoo. I met this girl named Kat, and she was my coworker. When it came to art, I feared everything, and she taught me a lot of appreciation of if you're going to paint, you have to care about it. You have to do this, you have to. She gave me a lot of lessons that, like Indian, it was another way to look at life. Fast forward to about another year, I started tattooing and doing a lot of small little pieces on people to practice. I ended up getting hair up my ass, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to call the 3 best artists that I know, their shops in Los Angeles. If I'm going to do the best, I want to work with the best. I walked 6 to 7 miles across town in 100-degree weather, which I don't do well in heat anyway. So I was there, and I took the last $50 I had to get a ticket to Los Angeles, and I just left. I told Kat thank you, and I left, and I made it. I made it to Los Angeles and said I'll figure it out when I get there. When I got to LA, what happened was they had told me, well, the artist at Artistic Element was gonna be able to see me. I get there and you go, oh, he's in China. So I ended up staying on the streets for about a week, and I was that determined, and I had no money, had nothing for food. I definitely remember being in a position where I was like, damn, this sucks. I met Roman. He comes up and he's like, yeah, dude, what are you trying to do? He looked at my paintings and goes, huh? He started picking my brain. He goes, so you're trying to tattoo here? There's a bunch of other shops. I go, no, tattoo and or pierce. He goes, oh, you're a piercer. He basically was just like, come back in a week and I'll interview you. We need a piercer here. I went to Artistic, talked to the owner, which was Roman's brother. His name was Rick. I spoke with him for literally less than 10 minutes, and he hired me on the spot. and I ended up staying there for 2 years. I lived in the back of the shop. I worked pretty much every day, and I studied under quite a few people, and it was probably one of the most important experiences in my life. It taught me kind of where I wanted to go and where I didn't want to, and I think that was something I'll never forget. I ended up having to travel for a few months back and forth trying to tattoo, and I eventually came back to where I'm at, Wave Street. The same guys from Indian Ink had left and opened up their own shop in here in Monterey, which is the next town over, and it was going to be a collective. Everybody was their own boss, everybody helped each other and was a family. And I felt that after 5, almost 6 years of being gone, this was my chance. I had kept in contact with one of the artists named Miss Morris Bravo. He eventually moved back, and I moved with him, and we made the leap with each other to put ourselves in a position where we had to make it work. All our last summer money we had made over the past few months went to supplies, and I eventually put myself in a position where I had to tattoo, go full time, and push myself artistically and paint all the time. Fast forward about 2 years, these podcasts that I genuinely I could laugh, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is it. I used that to inspire myself and build numbers to where other artists and other peers would join in this idea. So 3 years passed by. I give all the money I have, and I eventually got to this point where I started getting people wanting to take lessons and ask me questions. So the podcast grew exponentially, and that business model now blew up. So as time went on, I started interviewing more artists. I started working bigger with companies, and them promoting what I did pushed my numbers up. It's kind of like, I know it sounds like a terrible business model for some of the business students, but it's a karma. You know, if you give enough of something, of product, of time, of effort, it will come back tenfold. Whatever you give in will come back out. So if you can find what it is, whether it be a hobby or whether it be, just some work itself, find what it is, and as cheesy as it sounds, let it kill you.